Sorry, Jonathan, how are you today?
I'm all right. You know, I like to help people. If I can't, it's somewhat of a downer. So how can I help you today?
Jonathan, I was calling on the 911 meeting we had last night, but before I do, I heard Tom Marshall on your show this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish Tom Marshall all the best in his retirement, but I could see that he's just trying to rally the troops there because Stelman Flynn is doing so well in Humber East, and I heard him talk about Corner Brook. And like, I have no problem Tom Marshall fading off and you know, doing his work, and he did do some work. But why is Mayor Charles Pender out in the media saying Corner Brook got shortchanged? The Cormac long-term care facility was cut by 100 beds. The new hospital was delayed by 7 years. So, and Tom Marshall even asked me on several occasions to keep the fight up for the radiation. You know, so when Tom Marshall wants to get on and go bragging and almost like, if he put in a lot of mortar and bricks, fine. But there's still a lot of people here who are being shipped out of Corner Brook because not enough long-term care beds because it was cut. So
shipped out of Corner Brook, what do you mean?
They're moved, and there's one I'm dealing with moved down to. They're moved away from because there's not enough long-term.
Oh, you mean patients? Pardon me.
Patients.
Okay.
Patients. What it is, they're moved out because the long-term care, there's not enough long-term care beds, and I've been saying that for years, and they cut them by 100 beds. So, and the premier and also Tom Marshall, the premier at the time, blamed economic development on the university up here because all they had was protesters who protested tire burning and fracking, and they didn't do enough for economic development. And so Premier Marshall wants to rally the troops against Stelman Flynn.
I'm a little confused as to how we can link the protest against fracking with the hospital issue, but I don't know, maybe. Maybe you can help me clarify that, but I understand that there's a lot of aspects and issues surrounding this never delivered hospital in Corner Brook, and now it's 7 years past the original announcement, and the money keeps getting reposted in different announcements, and I understand the frustration of everybody. Particularly, you know what? I can say I understand, but I'm not there. But I would say that the patients, as you're saying, who are getting shipped out in Corner Brook because the facilities are not there, they must have moments of burning in their hearts and minds where they're wondering what the deuce is going on. Yeah. When is ground going to be broken, Eddie?
Oh, ground is broken, and now they're building a water tower up there, a water tower, but from my understanding, they're still in the design phase, and hopefully to start next year to do the long-term care facility part, but the actual construction of the actual acute care hospital won't be till 2016, 9 years later.
Right.
But anyway, Jonathan, that's just with Tom Marshall, all the best in his retirement. But I was calling, we had a meeting last night in Corner Brook 911. Miss Manning attended the meeting. I had to say she heard she heard them speak, but she just didn't listen. She just didn't listen to the concerns of the firefighters and the town councils out here. In the interview she had in the Western Star out here today, she's happy to alleviate the concerns of misinformation. She must have been at the wrong meeting because there was more concerns and more frustration at that meeting last night than you can imagine. And with the 911 system they're putting out, is that and I use the West Coast because they do have that service now through a constabulary, is that if you call into 911 and the dispatcher, they would make sure you get contact with the person. But with the new system now, is when you call in, they would put you through to the pager and hang up.
Right.
And the pager, hopefully that the pager, you could speak clear enough, hopefully the pager worked, hopefully that the pager wasn't out of range and things like that. And the frustration was so evident last night. And the city of Corner Brook, and this is no knock on the city of Corner Brook, they're offering on a service for dispatching. But here's the part that was confirmed last night, and I got to give the mayor of Massey Drive, because I said it and it was pushed aside because no, but he drilled it down. The people who would do dispatching, if you paid $2,500, are the same ones that's being paid, are the call takers being paid under the 911 system.
Very good question. Who's paying and why do we have to pay per phone line is the other question. I don't get it. But Eddie, these are questions that we will be finding out. When is this meeting happening? What is going on?
The meeting happened last night. The meeting happened last night, and the minister was there. And like I said, she heard him, but she just didn't listen to him.
Okay.
She just absolutely. And I made a suggestion at the end. I made it because I heard the minister saying saying there's 200, mainly is the volunteer fire departments, and a lot of them are going to use their own number, private own town number. Corner Brook will be here. St. John's, Northeast Avalon has their own. And I made a suggestion to the minister last night. I said, Minister, you said here 3 or 4 times here tonight information that was incorrect. One, that the fire department will be dispatching is not true. That there's no surplus, which is the budget that I have, and I gave out to a lot of town councils. There is a surplus. And I made a suggestion last night because she said on several occasions to put in a dispatch for 270 volunteer firefighter units in Newfoundland would be enormous. I said, what is the cost? Well, we don't know. Well, and I asked the minister, look, can you just do a review and see what the cost is? Then we can do it. Because even if you don't put in the dispatch, you're going to get the calls anyway. The calls are coming no matter what.
Yeah, that's true. The calls will come. Here's what I'm going to do, Eddie. I'm going to put in a call, speaking of calls, to the Minister of Justice and Public Safety, Minister Judy Manning. Try and get her on the show next week. Wish me luck in that. And I'll see if I can get to the bottom of this, okay?
And you, and I heard you just on the last caller, ask for information.
Yeah.
Just to show how this was a dispatch system and how they changed this in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. I ask you to go to the POMAX Inc. study that was done for government, page 32.
Can you send it to me, Eddie, via email?
I could send it to you. And
that's my question of the day. That's my request is to everybody send me information.
And it clearly shows then that the government was going to give resources to the RNC, to the RCMP, to Northeast Avalon, to St. John's Fire Department for a dispatch system. This has changed. I will send you page 32, which clearly states that this government has changed.
Okay, send me the whole page. I need context, Eddie. In all and everything, I need context in order to make any sort of response. So don't send me page 1 to 32 or however long it is.
You will have the whole
Please
study.
And thank you. Okay, speaking of information, we have the Chief Operating Officer of Newfoundland Labrador Hydro on the line. So I'm going to wish you a very happy weekend, sir.
And I just want to say thank you again, and to the volunteer firefighters and that, keep up the fight, because what they're doing.
Aren't they amazing?
For Minister Manning to stand up in that meeting last night and look at the firefighters who do training, and a lot of them firefighters who dedicate their lives and say, you don't understand dispatch in 911, it's a pretty sad day when I got to look at Colin Tucker and say you don't know the difference.
All right. Eddie Joyce, it's been a real pleasure. We'll speak soon.
And thank you.
Thank you. Happy Friday. Bye-bye.